This presentation is all about the ways for you to stay in touch with how your child is getting on at Notre Dame. Of course, Notre Dame High School is bigger than your child's current primary school. One year group at Notre Dame is almost as big as many of the primary schools in the city. And of course, for many of you, it's much, much further away. So that does mean that we have to work differently in the way that we stay in touch with you and that you stay in touch with us. But there are still lots of ways for you to be involved in your child's life at school. The first place that you should look if you need some information would be our school website. On the school website, two particular tabs or sections that I would draw your attention to is first of all the information section, which contains general information about the school, our history, where we are, any news that's current, and also links to policies. There is also a parent section, which contains school calendar, information directly for parents about what children will learn, the curriculum, again, any particular policies or information that you might need to know, and again, links to other sources of information for your child, including things such as ePortal. One of the ways that you will be able to keep up with how things are going for your child in school is through our online access to our management information system. This is a screenshot of the system we use at the moment called ePortal. Those of you with children in school at the moment will be familiar with this system, but by the time your child joins us in Year 7 in September, we'll have moved on to a newer system called Bromcom. It works in a very similar way, however, to ePortal, in that it shows you all of the live information about how things are going for your child in school. It'll include their timetable, you'll be able to see the contact information, for example, that we hold about your child, and all those sorts of basic details. But also it will have their live attendance, it will have live information about how they're getting on in lessons, so their teacher might have entered a record of something they've done particularly well, or perhaps if they've got a concern about their personal organisation or their conduct in school. All those things will appear there live. From time to time we'll include updated information about your child's approach to learning across their subjects, and also their progress, how they're getting on in their subjects, how they're doing. So there'll be a whole range of live information similar to the sorts of information that's accessible on ePortal at the moment. But again, Bromcom's a more modern, updated system, and it includes access through an app, which will also allow us to share messages, etc. with you. So as a tool that helps you to keep in touch with school and how things are going for your child. You'll get a login to your child's Bromcom account, and that will be in September ready, and we'll give you some guidance at that stage about how to use and how to access that information. Another important site for you and for your child to use will be Show My Homework. This is the way that we set homework for children in school. Your child will have an account, and you will also have a login to that account so that you can see everything that your child can see. You can access Show My Homework via a website, or you can also download a free app. On Show My Homework, your child and you will be able to see all the homework they currently have set, what subject it's in, when it's due by. And if you click on any one of those pieces of homework, there will be more details about exactly what the teacher expects you to do. There may well be links to other resources to help you to do that homework, and the teacher will have said how much time they expect your child to spend doing that homework. And we found this has made a really big difference. Going back a few years, we used to write homework, or the children would write their homework in their journal, and they might write something like "do sheet," and then they'd realise they lost the sheet, or they weren't really sure what it is. Whereas now you can see what the teacher has written, you know exactly what is expected, and being able to see how much time your child should be expecting to spend on homework is a good guide. Some children are very, very keen and they work far too hard, and actually you'll be able to say to your child, it's okay, you can stop there, your teacher only wanted you to do half an hour. Some children can be at the other end of the spectrum and they want to get it rushed, and they've done it in 30 seconds, and you can say, well, perhaps your teacher expected you to spend a little bit more time on this activity. So to recap, three of the first ways that you can get information about how your child is getting on at school and things that you might need is by looking at the website. If you haven't done so already, I'd encourage you just to have a bit of an explore to see what's on there. You can also log on to ePortal. When your child joins us in Year 7, you will get a log-on details to be able to see your child's information on ePortal. And finally, you can check Show My Homework, again with the account details that we'll give you in September to see the homework that your child has been set. Of course, there are other ways for you to keep in touch with us. There's good old-fashioned writing in your child's journal. Every child will have a journal given to them, and there are spaces for you as parents to write any notes in there that you would like your child to bring to the attention of their form tutor or any of the subject teachers. There's also plenty of information in the journal, including the child's timetable, the sort of equipment they need in school, etc. Of course, you can get in touch by email or telephone, and we would encourage you to do that. Within the journal, you will find email addresses for lots of the key members of staff that you might need to get in touch with, and you can find many of those contact details on the website too. The majority of teachers will share their email addresses directly with the students. Of course, it's great to see people face to face, but we would just ask, rather than just turning up at school, please do make an appointment. Secondary schools are extremely busy places, and we would hate for you to arrive only to find that the person that you hope to speak to is not available. So we would just ask that either by email or telephone call you make an appointment. And the best people to speak to in the first instance when you're contacting school is either your child's form tutor or their head of year. Finally, the most important way to keep in touch with how things are going, of course, is to talk to your son or daughter when they get home from school. Not only is this the most direct way to get an idea of how things are going for them, it also, of course, shows that you are interested in their education. And even if sometimes your child gives you a bit of a short answer about how the day has gone, and they just say, well, it's gone fine, even so, you are still showing them that their education really matters to you. And if there is something either they're particularly proud of or that is particularly worrying them, they will tell you, particularly if they know that you will always ask. The majority of time at school, things go very, very well. Students are happy, they're doing a great job, and they're getting on very well with their life at school. But from time to time, things happen, and you might have a concern or a worry or be upset about something. And we would ask you, please do contact us as soon as possible. Sometimes parents will decide they don't want to bother people and will leave it, and then the frustration can build and that can make matters worse. So we would just ask you, if there's something that's concerning you, the quicker you can get in touch with us about it, the quicker we can try to resolve it. We understand, of course, that often what you will have heard is just part of the story. You'll have heard your child's perspective on things that have happened at school, and that won't always be the full picture. So we'd ask you, first of all, just to be patient, to tell us the thing that you're concerned about, to let us look into it, and to get back to you as soon as possible so that we can find a way forward. And we would ask you always to remember that just like you, we only want the very best for your child and for all the children in the school. Of course, there are many other ways to stay connected with the school community. There will be a parents' evening every year when you will be invited along to have an appointment with a number of your child's teachers so that you can hear directly from them how your child is getting along day to day. From time to time during the school year, we have school masses and other liturgical services that we're able to invite parents to. We can't invite parents to every service and to every mass as easily as perhaps could happen in assemblies, but we do invite parents as often as we can. We also have social events such as the Summer Festival, when many of our students perform, and we have various other games and activities to give families a real sense of what our school community is about. We have dance, drama and music productions through the year that we'd love you to come along and see. They are always absolutely fantastic. You can join Friends of Notre Dame, which is like our parent-teacher association or homeschool association. And it's a way that parents can get involved with the school community, organising events to raise money for extracurricular clubs, but also events that help bring people together. Some of the things that the Friends of Notre Dame do is they organise a Halloween disco for Year 7 students to help them celebrate together halfway through their first term at school. And they run a range of other social events, such as the Fond Ball, which happens around May time. And we're always open to ideas. To finish this section, I would just say I know that your child moving to secondary school, particularly if it's the first child that is moving to secondary school, it can feel like a big step. It can feel that they're moving to a bigger school that's further away. But part of that is a good thing, of course. Your child is gaining independence. It's an opportunity for them to manage their own time, to make their own way, to take more responsibility for their own learning. And we see that develop, and many children really thrive with that opportunity. That greater independence is really important for your child, but it needn't be scary for you. It doesn't mean that you have to be totally cut off from your child's education. It just means that the way that you stay in contact with the school just looks a little bit different. I hope that this section has been helpful to you, and I will leave it there for now. Thank you.